Folks, is when the magic happens, because I have to take something that looks like that and make it into something that looks like that. Closely. It doesn't need to be exact, but watch, take notes. Might learn a thing or two. Might teach you something. YouTube, MSJ Customs Welding Company, local to the Twin Cities, Minneapolis, St. Paul. Now, behind me, we have a big-ass pontoon. Now, it's almost August. It's boating season. I've been getting a shit ton of aluminum jobs lately, and this is just one of typical pontoons. If you look, the guy told me that a building fell on top of it. I don't know how the fuck that happens, but it's not my job to ask questions. It's my job to fix it. So I just want to take you guys with me, kind of show you how I plan on doing this. But step one is cutting. Actually, no, I don't even need to cut it. Unbolting this thing off of this pontoon. So about a week ago, I've been on this boat a while now, but about a week ago, I had to pull this tune off and do a full weld all the way alongside of it. Just pushing out some of the dents. You can still kind of see some of the dents. Oh, I missed it on the initial inspection, but this whole thing has cables in it. I think that's where one ends. That might be a second one. But yeah, it's the small things, man. It's the small things you miss on a bid that just add so much time. But nothing to it but to do it. So I'm labeling what I cut off of what, because I know my ADHD ass is not gonna know which one goes to which. So I'm just gonna label this 1 and 2, and we will take it from that point. Folks, is when the magic happens, because I have to take something that looks like that and make it into something that looks like that. Closely. It doesn't need to be exact, but watch, take notes. Might learn a thing or two. Might teach you something. So I have the basic shape that I want, as close to that as I could get. This is a quick sketch of what it'll look like, but I'm gonna get that tacked up and we'll take it from that point. Hey, I'm back. It's the next day. I went ahead and I fit this thing up. Is it exact? No, but I can make it exact. You can see these don't quite line up on the bottom side of this thing, but on the sidewall, but we'll make it happen. But I wanted to do this because when you weld aluminum, it moves quite a bit. So um, I'm known to get a little ahead of myself sometimes. So I always tack it up, check it, tack it up, check it, so on and so on. This wasn't in my initial design, but because this whole thing wants to move on me, this is going to keep this whole thing square. Um, Sometimes you just gotta toss it in. It's gonna look nice still, I think. I don't think anyone's gonna give a shit. But we'll say it's an aesthetic thing. But in all actuality, it's a structural thing. But let's keep going at it. So we got light winds outside, which isn't ideal when you take welding aluminum, but this thing's just too big to fit my job. So sometimes you just gotta do the best you can with what you got. But we'll give it a shot. What do you think, folks? Didn't come out too bad. Not too bad at all. I mean, there's some small stuff that only I'm going to notice, but I'm happy with it. So I got most of the outside edges welded, all the stuff on the face. Now I'm not going to do the inside of the tubing because one, I'm a lazy piece of shit, and two, I want this thing to still have a little bit of flex. And I think if I was to make all the welds, it's twice as much welding, and aluminum can tend to bend and move out of shape, and I need this thing to stay exactly as it is. So I don't want the heat to end up twisting my piece. So that's something you gotta be cautious of. Ideally, you want to do as little welding as possible to get the job done. And this is what this is. As little welding as possible. Day 2 of the job. I had to postpone. I had to stop yesterday because I didn't have the aluminum sheet that I needed. But if you look at this beauty, I got it tucked in a blanket so I don't get cold. Today's mission is to get that aluminum sheet, and what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take a pen and kind of outline it up against the panel that I put on. That'll give me the close enough shape that I need. But I'm done with the welding. No welding is needed after this point. So it should just be a lot of cutting, a lot of bolting down. I have to get this powder coated to match that paint. As close as I can. I mean, the client knows that it's not going to be exact, but I want it to be as exact as possible. They're paying me a lot of money to do this, and I want it to come out the best that it can. So let's get into it. So my initial idea was to plasma cut this, but now I'm thinking I should use a cold cut saw because I don't want this thing to twist and bend on me. I think that's what we'll do. I'm cutting that. No way. No way. This is what we got done in about a minute of cutting. Was to pop all the holes now, but I'm thinking about it, and when this gets powder coated, they have to put it in an oven. So if I was to put all the holes that I needed into it now to mount it to the actual sidewall, I think what would happen would be that heat would twist and bend it, so none of the holes would line up anyway. So I'm just going to do the outside edges, and then finish up when it's done being painted. Okay, folks, it is officially game day. I got those aluminum panels back from my paint company. In the meantime, I went ahead and painted that guy up just to kind of closely match the existing paint job. But it's finally happening. I'm finally gonna get this pontoon out of my house, make some space. It's beginning to look a little shabby at the shop, but this is gonna be gone today. It's kind of an exciting day. Let's get it done. So I should have shaped this. I should have shaped this last time I touched it, but I didn't. So I'm just kind of bending it to fit that bend. Okay, folks, that's all. It's been a long, tedious battle, but we finally got it done. Just to kind of sum it up, we did these floats. That wasn't in this video, but I did them. You'll just have to believe me. But we built this sidewall. That's the old one. That's the new one. And I don't want to, I don't want to pump my head up too much, but it came out. It came out okay. Yeah, came out just fine. Yeah, I mean it's not exact, but I'll be damned if it ain't good looking. Shit, kind of like me. That, and then we did this wall as well. I don't know if I got it on video, but that one was kind of smushed in, collapsed a little bit, as well as, let's see, as well as this guy, this top panel. And you know what? I mean, like I said, it's not exact, but you can't beat it, folks. You can't beat it, folks. But anyway, look, if you got anything out of this video, I know it was kind of a, well, actually, I don't know if it's going to be a long one. I still haven't edited yet. But if you got anything out of this video, if I've entertained you at all, if maybe I taught you a thing or two, like, sub, leave a comment. I don't know. I look at them. I do. I do. Yeah. So anyway, folks, you guys have a good night.